Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're well. Just wanted to make a conclusion video for the documented detox. I actually finished the 21 days last week. I did actually make a video, but when I finished it, I didn't really like it, so I just wanted to make another one just to summarize and conclude the findings of the 21 days on the 4 tonic protocol, which is the 4 juices, and then the salad at the end of the day. One main thing, okay, let's start with I don't really check weight or anything like that. I'm not really concerned with weight or anything, but I thought I'll just jump on the scales at the end of the 21 days anyway, and I think I've gained around about 5 kilos, which is around, I don't know, about 12-13 pounds or something like that. Yeah, maybe just a bit more. Okay, so I've put some weight on, and so I wasn't really planning on putting weight on or anything like that. I was just literally having my high fat salads, the juices throughout the day. And one thing, obviously, because I was so not underweight, I was skinny, I was thin. Some might say underweight, but anyway, because I was so thin and I was eating this diet, I actually put weight on. I'm sure most people, okay, when they go through with the juices and have the salad at the end of the day, they probably will end up losing weight, okay, but it's just my constitution and where I was, I actually put on weight, okay. So that's the first thing. Second thing is in terms of just the main thing, I'm sure I've said all in the other videos as well, is the deliverance of the energy, it's the way, it's the slow release energy of the fats from the night before that makes such a big difference. Since I've finished the 21 days, I've been really going mad on the fruit. I've been binging on fruit, and yes, because it's summer now, you can see it with height of July, and there's so many watermelons, cherries, really nice fruit, grapes, everything is all so fresh and in season in the market. So I've just been binging out on that. But like I say, you notice the difference in the energy though. It's definitely different. I can't say it's good or bad. I'm just saying, with the 4 tonic protocol with the salad, I'm sure I'll do that again. And if I did do something like, if I did the 21 days in winter, I'm sure I would have kept going for longer, because it was such a good program and I love the way the energy feels, and I'm becoming a bit of an avocado addict as well now. But anyway, that's another thing. The fats and the oils were very good, like I say, because I wasn't really consuming any good fats for the last couple of years, since I've been mostly raw, and it's just the cold pressed oils and the avocados on a daily basis, you can see, were making such a big difference. Can't say anything bad about that. That's a really good thing. And I say, out of the program, out of the 4 juices, they all do their job. The green dish just does its job, the celery dish just does its job, the flusher at the end of the day does the job as well. But the main one that I found was, if I had to choose one of the juices was the most effective, was the Cayenne Pepper powder, together with the fresh turmeric, fresh ginger, and fresh lemons, all juiced, okay, and then you top it up with water. That juice is something special. That tonic is so good for so good for you, not so good for the parasites in your stomach, because you can see it just makes such an unhospitable environment for them if you're on the program for long enough, or even for most people just trying it for one day. You'll see how much of a difference it makes. It just cleans you out completely. But it's a long process. It's a very long process, because you have to keep creating that unhospitable environment for them, and you got to continue to alkalize with just simple things like celery, juices, the cucumber, just how you alkalize your body. I don't keep going into that now. So you generally need to keep alkalizing, and I'm all over the place right now. You generally keep alkalizing, and that makes an unhospitable environment for the parasites to remove out of your body. But this juice, you can see, it gives a good fair bit of them out straight away. Okay, and especially after 3 weeks on them, you notice them leaving. But it's also, you notice them leaving not because I'm examining the toilet bowl or anything like that with a magnifying glass. You notice them leaving because of your behavioural patterns changing, and one of the things I think, I'd say parasites, worms, all these, I'm speaking generally, anything that's using your body as a host. And what I mean by that is, there's obviously, you have there's a consciousness, and there's obviously trillions of different consciousnesses, including every cell has its own consciousness, and there's the collective consciousness in your body. But then there are things which we call parasites, which sometimes worms, ticks, all these kind of things that, not really ticks, but just the internal things, just that are the funguses, all these things that are just feeding on, using your body as a host, but feeding on things that are not necessarily good for your body. Whether this is physical stuff in terms of the candida and in terms of the sugar, whether it's feeding on, the fried fats and things like that, meat, whatever it is, okay? Or whether it's feeding on the emotional side of the things, okay? So parasites literally are in your body, and they're using your body as a host. So this is why certain things are not good for you, but the parasite is being served by these things in some way. So parasite is feeding off these things in some way. So that's why you still end up doing them. So let's say, for example, if you take a cigarette, okay, and everyone knows everyone knows you shouldn't smoke cigarettes because they're not particularly healthy for you and they damage you, okay? But there's still something that makes you take the cigarette and put it to your mouth and smoke it, whether it's the cigarette or whether it's alcohol, whether it's red meat, or whether it's dairy, whatever it is, sugars. We know it's not necessarily good for us, but there's something in us that's feeding off that. And so this is what you can identify as parasites, okay? Because you shouldn't be putting whatever into you, but there's still something that does make you do that, even though you consciously know on every level, whether it's intellectually or even beyond that intuitively, okay, that this thing is not good for you, okay? You still put it inside your body, okay? But as these parasites start to exit your body, okay, be exhumed, but you notice your behavioural patterns changing, and you start acting instead of reacting to situations. And that's the thing that these things cause us to do. They just take away our choice and our ability to act upon situations. We're so pre-programmed, and we just respond to stimuli, and everything responds to stimuli. Don't get me wrong, we have our 5 senses, and we rely on 6 senses. If you think about the Eastern thing, they say thought is another sense. But anyway, you have your senses, and you rely upon your senses, there's nothing wrong with that. But we're so used to and so conditioned to just responding to that stimuli now, and so we've lost touch basically with the our inner self that really allowed us to make choices, because we don't really make any choices. We just end up just running through the motions, and we're thinking we've got a particular type of choice, but we don't really. We just respond to stimuli in the way we know how to, and that's why I don't blame a lot of people for the things they do, because they just do not do what they know, what they know, yeah. So people can only do what they know how to do. So yeah, in terms of getting back in terms, getting control and getting choice again, okay? Because it's on that level, it's on the plane that's not based on this 5 cents plane, this reality that we live in, the external world, okay? There's no real choice in that world, okay? That we're just really responding always. The choice we really have is on a different plane that you can access, and that you do always have access to, because that's what you have your gut feeling and your intuition and your deeper self, your higher self, or depends which, if you're looking at Eastern or the Western. Some the Eastern philosophy says higher self, and Western philosophy says deeper, lower, subconscious and things like that, or subconscious, and it's either it's talking about the same thing, really, okay? It's on a plane that's not this, okay, on a different one, okay? And on that one you can make choices, and that to access that plane you have to get out of this constant state of fight or flight that we're in, okay? And all these parasites and all these things just help us, not help, they continue to keep us in this state of fight or flight, so we can't actually act upon anything. We end up just reacting to everything, okay? And so one of the things that I've noticed, like as I say, with the things exiting my body, I've been able to act upon things a bit more. Don't get me wrong, I've still got my problems and I've still got a lot of things to work out, but I'm on my way and I can see certain things are happening, okay? And the same for you. If you want to start taking control of your life and want to, get away from these things that, when someone tells you something that is positive for you, you agree with it, and then you say, oh, but I don't think I will. No, but what is this I? Yeah, the I that is you wants the best for you. So why would you not be able to do something that you understand what I'm saying? So there's something inside you that's using your body as a host, okay? And that is very, very not bad, it just doesn't serve you. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying bad, because it's there to teach us a lesson. All of these things in us, controlling us, with whether it's the parasites or whether it's the chemtrails and the subliminal programming on the TV programs which program you, and just like there's so much happening, okay, but that's all there to teach us a lesson. So don't know victim mentality, no feeling bad, no blaming others, none of that stuff, okay? Just learn from it and grow from it, okay? And one of the things in terms of, I think Tavis Bradley, very on point dude, okay, said this. He's got a YouTube channel, I'm sure you can check this out, but something about the parasites and the level of control they have, okay? I know I keep talking about parasites, but that's one of the most biggest findings that has become obvious to me during this 21 days and their effects on us. And what he says is most people, I think something along the lines of the sentence, I might slightly get it wrong, but most people by the time they're 40 years old, 60% of their actions, okay, are controlled by the parasites in the stomach, okay, or not necessarily in the stomach, within them, using them as a host, okay. So you think, why do people just go through these motions, just continue to watch people get murdered and continue to do things that are horrible to them, but not necessarily those things, just continue to do everything in the same way. People celebrate birthdays in the same way, and you have to get a cake and you have to do that, put the candles. Everyone's just in such a monotonous way, of repetitive way of just consuming culture, basically. There's no creativity involved, there's nothing. That's just been shunned upon, okay? Anything creative and new is just looked at as tatty or something like that. Yeah, so anything out of the norm. So it's culture has just been consumed, and it's been driven by an external force, basically, instead of the internal force creating culture, which is what used to happen. I don't want to go into timelines and things like that. That's all pointless, okay? So all we're dealing with is the present right now. And So parasites are not good. They definitely are real. Worms are real. They're inside you, they're inside me, they're inside everything. Not everything, everybody, all the people. Even if you main thing that you get them from is the consumption of meat, fish, dairy, whether it's cooked or raw. It doesn't make too much of a difference. You get it from other things as well. Okay, I'm sure loads of even healthy food that can sometimes have things like that on there. Okay? Even just breathing air, you'll get parasites and stuff into you. But it's just a case of whether the body is in a good enough state of homeostasis and function properly in order to be able to clear these things out. Because that's what it does. And it's not just about getting completely clean, don't get me wrong. You need certain parasites within you to function properly, just like a tiny handful of them. Because I don't say I understand it fully, because I don't, all right? And to say, why do you need those certain parasites? I wouldn't be able to give you an absolute perfect answer, okay? So I'm not going to bother try, okay? But you do need them in you, okay? And so it's not about just trying to get everything out, but if there are certain things you are doing that are detrimental to you in some way or another, whether it's a thought or emotion that you constantly keep having in a place that you're putting yourself in mentally, or in some way like that, or whether it's some action that you continue to take upon yourself or towards others, okay, that is detrimental to your overall well-being and experience on this planet, okay? And if you're continuing to do that, okay, think about why it is that you're continuing to do that, okay? So that's the main thing, okay? Let me think if there's anything else. Yeah, I don't think, yeah, just of course, program. Back to program. Sorry, yeah. So program parasite removal is absolutely brilliant, and thank you if you're still watching. I'm sure I'm going all over the place. This is not making the most interesting video, but I'm just sitting out in the sun. I've been relaxing, meditating for I don't even know how long now. I haven't even looked at the time. The sun's gone from there to about there, so probably about an hour and a half. So yeah, that's the in terms of the program. Yeah, back to the program. It's not for everyone, okay, but it does do its job, okay. It's not the most detoxifying thing, I reckon, in terms of moving the lymph in your body, okay, hydrating your body. Just watermelons all day, every day will do that, as well as this program. But there's something else that this does, yeah, and it's to do with the steady supply of energy. It's to do with the way that an unhospitable environment is created for the parasites with the second juice. It's the way the electricity starts to flow in your body with the first juice, which is the celery juice. And the intake of the nutrients, I reckon that might even have something to do with the third juice, that my weight gain, maybe something's got to do with that, and maybe my weight gain's generally got something to do with the fact that generally I've been utilizing and absorbing better with the high fats and everything as well. So there's so much to this, yeah. So this is a very, very good program. There's so many benefits to it, but it does take a small amount of dedication, okay, a small amount of planning, small amount of preparation, okay, but there is so much you can gain from it, yeah. So try it out, okay. The juices are listed below. If I get a chance, I'll try and make a video in English as well with me making the juices. I've got one in Tamil, but I'll try and make one in English as well, okay. Yeah, hopefully that was useful. And yeah, if you do have any questions, or if I haven't made myself very clear about anything, or you just want to holla, let me know, okay. Take care.